You probably seen this man in the news recently, but you have no idea who he is. But today, you are going to find out. He's one of the most important scientists in the world, and he just says something shocking.
El cáncer de páncreas se sabe desde hace ya mucho tiempo que la mutación que lo origina se llama KRAS, es decir, es un oncogen, y durante muchos años se pensaba que no se podía atacar farmacológicamente a esta mutación.
But there is something almost no one understands. His name is Mariano Barbacid, and if you don't know him, you should. He was one of the first scientists to discover human oncogenes, which simply put are genes that when altered can turn a normal cell into a cancer cell, okay? And he specifically discovered the RAS gene, a key player in many types of cancer. But today, he's not trending because of what he did in the past. He's trading because of what he just said about the future of cancer. Pancreatic cancer is one of the most aggressive tumors out there. The problem is detected late, it grows fast, and it requires treatment. In fact, only about the 5% of patients survive more than 5 years. And in many cases, by the time it's diagnosed, it's already too late. That's why for decades it had been almost impossible to treat effectively. But here's where the Barbacid teams come in. At the Spanish National Cancer Research Center, they achieved something that sounds almost impossible. They eliminate pancreatic cancers in mice. Yes, they eliminated, but how did they do it? With a completely different strategy, obviously. But before you understand the treatment, you need to understand something fundamental. What is cancer real? Your body is made of a million of cells that grow, divide, and die in a controlled way. Everything is perfectly regulated. But in cancer, start when that control is lost, and a cell mutates, and suddenly it starts following that rules. It starts dividing uncontrollably, and it doesn't die when it should. And worst of all, it keeps accumulating more and more mutation. It's like the cells become more dangerous over time. And now imagine this. Cancer doesn't depend on just one mechanism to survive. It depends on a multiple pathways at the same time. Some signals tell it grow, don't die, escape the immune system, and invade other tissues. And here's the problem: if you block just one of these pathways, cancer is simply use another one. And that's why many therapies fail, not because they don't work, just because cancer use another way. And this is where Barros' strategy comes in. Instead of using one simple drug, they're using a combination of three. The goal to attack multiple mechanisms at the same time. Because when you block several pathways at once, you leave cancer with no escape route, and when cancer can adapt, and that tumor simply collapses. This therapy focuses on blocking a key pathway such as KRAS. KRAS is a gene that acts like a growth switch, up and down. When it's abnormally activated, cells divide uncontrollably, blocking KRAS, turning off that growth signal. The other pathway is epidermal growth factor receptor. It's located on the cell's membrane and receives external signals to do growth. When altered, it stays acting even with signals. And the other pathway is STAT3. It's a protein that regulates gene function inside the nucleus. It promotes proliferation, cell survival, and inflammation. And in cancer, it's constantly activated. This pathway are like genes of the tumor. They tell the cell to grow, survive, and resist treatment. By blocking them simultaneously, the entire cancer system becomes unstable. So, the results were shocking: tumor elimination in mice, no major side effects, no resistance observed. Something that just seemed impossible for decades started to look possible. But there is most important part. This does not mean we already have a cure, because all of this has only been tested in animal models, and in medicine that's just the beginning. And now we need human clinical trial, scientific validation, and so many years of research. And this is where vaccine has been very clear. Our results are promising, but we must be cautious. Cancer is not a single disease, and there is no magic solution. In fact, Only big obstacle is not science. No funding, no clinical trials, no trials, no treatment. It's simple. Without support, progress stops. And that's why international collaboration is a key. Sharing knowledge, accelerating discoveries, because pancreatic cancer remains one of the greatest challenges in modern medicine. So, we are close to current, the answer is closer than ever, but we are not there yet. And what really matters is not the promise, it's real progress, step by step, but a driving science. Because in medicine, the biggest breakthroughs don't happen overnight. They are built over decades. So, thanks for watching this video on Why Could Curiosity. Subscribe and like for more of these videos. Let me know what you think in the comments. See you in the next one.